So you casted WCS up until like 2 days ago. Did that interfere with your training in some way?
I don't think so, because I would have most likely been watching the games anyway if I had not been casting in French, so I think not particularly.
Halston thought when I was interviewing him that his group was one of the toughest in the WCS. What about yours? Do you feel the same way?
I kind of feel the same way, but I mean, toughest for me, toughest in general, I'm not sure. I mean, I think there are maybe harder groups. I think Halston's group is definitely harder than mine. The thing is, when I saw the drawing, I was hoping I wouldn't get any Terrans, so I got 2, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm the unluckiest man in the world. And then I saw Halston's group, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm not the unluckiest man. But Halston still made it, so yeah.
So when you say you got 2 Terrans, would you like prefer other races, perhaps like, I don't know, no Terrans at all?
Yeah, I think my best matchup by far is Zerg, so I would have preferred getting some Zergs. At least one would have been nice. But yeah, sadly I got 2 Terrans and 1 Protoss, so that means I had to focus on preparing in these matchups.
GR.D did not advance in Group C. Stefano did not advance in Group A. Are you anticipating from a caster standpoint any more upsets in the first group stage?
I don't think Stefano not advancing was an upset. He's getting a lot of hype because he's very, very popular, and I'm not gonna go as far as saying he's bad or anything, but I don't think he's not what he's used to be. GR.D was an upset to some extent because I knew that he had been in Korea these days, and I'm guessing he probably took some rest as well from his usual practice regime. So to go back to your question, I do think that there's probably gonna be more upsets, but I don't feel like there has been any major upsets so far, except for the foreigners playing super well. Because in the previous seasons, we've had some foreigners play very, very well already, but like now it really feels like there is so many players in Europe that can beat Koreans. And we did have a few, I think 3 Europeans in the top 8 last season. So I really hope that we're going to repeat that or do at least better as well.
What do you think of the Polish players in WCS? Tefel, Mana, and Nercio?
I think they're pretty good players. With Mana, it's a little bit weird because when I see his game, sometimes I really feel like he's not doing super well, and then all of a sudden the next game he plays like amazing. So I'm not sure what to think about him. Like I think he practices maybe in a weird way, which makes for this kind of a play. But he came back from his slump and he's playing a lot better now. Nercio, I'm not going to talk about him as a person. as a player, I think he's pretty good. Kind of predictable at times, but good mechanics. He knows what he has to do most of the time. And Tefel, same thing. Tefel, though, is like a lot more predictable. He's been doing the same push like forever. Everybody always knows he's coming. So supposedly against a very good player, I'm talking about PVZ, of course. Very good player. I don't think he's particularly supposed to beat, because if you know it's coming, then there are good ways to prepare for it. But overall, he seems to be doing pretty well. He practices hard. Yeah.
You cast a lot. What's the best and worst thing about the job, about casting?
I guess I mentioned this before many times in interviews. A good thing that I don't have to go through when I'm casting as opposed to when I'm playing is the pressure. There is not too much pressure when I'm casting, because I know I'm just basically going to sit, do analysis. I'm not saying it's easy, but in comparison to all the stress that I have to go through when I'm playing, it's really almost nothing. When I'm playing, I'm really, really stressed. Like before I have an important cast or I go to a tournament, usually I'm not all that nervous. I'm a little bit nervous, but not all that nervous. But before playing WCS, it's like very hard to sleep the night before during the games. You can feel the pressure and all that. So I guess the stress-free compared to playing environment.
Last random question. Who's your favorite underdog in WCS?
I kind of want to say Uthermal, because I think he's so much better than most people think, but he's in my group. So yeah, I guess I'll just go with Uthermal.
All right. Thank you very much.
No problem.